Well, hello, everyone. It's great to be with you today. Thanks for including us in your meeting. And also thanks so much for for endorsing the Pathways to Cures research roadmap. And I'm looking forward to spending the next few minutes with you to share key insights and findings from our Pathways to Cures research roadmap effort. Perhaps to begin with, it would be important to point out that we have achieved more advances in MS than for any other neurological disease. We've never been closer to preventing MS. We've never been closer to reversing the course of the disease. And we've never been closer to finding treatments for the progressive forms of MS that are as effective as those as we've discovered for relapsing forms of the disease. And we've never been closer to cures for MS. And it's this progress has inspired us to chart this new initiative that we're calling Pathways to Cures. And the goal, what we're going for here, is to establish a clear vision, a vision of the most promising research that will ultimately lead to cures for everyone with MS. The Pathways to Cures roadmap identifies knowledge gaps, identifies milestones, and specific actions that we will take to speed the development of cures for MS. So let's learn a little bit more about this roadmap now. The Pathways to Cures research roadmap has been under development for several years. The plan was developed with input from key society advisory groups, from numerous MS scientific experts, as well as hundreds of people living with MS. The plan has gone through multiple stages of editing and refining, and was recently published in the widely read Multiple Sclerosis Journal. We are also seeking an international consensus on the Pathways to Cures roadmap. And what we hope to accomplish with this consensus is to inspire the global MS movement to focus resources on the most pressing research questions that will accelerate progress towards cures. So this is the biggest, most collaborative MS research effort ever. And just as the experience of living with MS is different for every person's cure may look a little bit different. So that's why there are 3 distinct cure pathways in the roadmap. They include stopping MS, restoring function, and ending MS. And the goal of the stop pathway is no more disease progression. The goal of the restore pathway is to regain lost function. And the goal of the end pathway is essentially prevention or no new diagnoses of MS. So let's dig into each pathway in a little bit more detail. As I said, the goal of the stop pathway is to achieve a state of no more disease progression. Maybe another way of thinking about this or phrasing this is this pathway is about people with MS knowing they will never experience a new symptom or see a new lesion on their MRI scan. It's about eliminating the possibility that things will get worse and eliminate the fear of what comes next. And we'll accomplish this through early diagnosis, maybe even before clinical symptoms become apparent, and by developing effective disease-modifying therapies and/or lifestyle interventions that are personalized for everyone. Now, what we're going for with early detection is to reduce or even eliminate the impact of MS at the very earliest stages of disease. And there's been a lot of progress made in the discovery and development of ways to identify people at the very beginning of their MS journey. I'm also inspired by the success of some other related autoimmune conditions, the success they've made in early detection. And this makes me quite optimistic that we can achieve this also for MS. Now, precision medicine, this is the ability to tailor treatments to individuals with MS based on their unique characteristics. And we're going to know we're making progress on this pathway when we can quickly and accurately determine when an individual is responding to therapy. And we also need to improve our understanding of what's driving progressive forms of MS and develop therapeutics that target the pathways driving progression. Progress towards development of outcome measures, things like blood biomarkers or better advanced MRI, things that can quickly and accurately measure response to a treatment. That progress is being made. Insights into what drives progressive forms of MS are also revealing new targets for interventions, targets that are being tested in clinical trials. And I think it's worth mentioning that a lot of that progress has been catalyzed by the support of the International Progressive MS Alliance. So now let's move on to the RESTORE pathway. The goal of the RESTORE pathway is to regain lost function. Again, another way of phrasing this pathway is about getting people back what MS has taken away from them, to be able to play with your children, to work a job you love, to go for a walk. This is just about not missing out. This pathway emphasizes myelin repair and rehabilitation and lifestyle and wellness strategies. And there's been huge progress in our understanding of the potential of the central nervous system to repair myelin. Some repair pathways that can be targeted pharmacologically, and some with cell-based approaches have been identified, and there are ongoing clinical trials of repair approaches at this moment. Restoring neurological function and managing symptoms through rehabilitation and wellness behaviors is the other area of emphasis in this pathway. And rehabilitation has historically been prescribed to improve symptoms, but there is a growing appreciation that in addition to improving symptoms, rehabilitation strategies can lead to restoration of function. And maybe this is by leveraging the nervous system's plasticity or its natural ability to compensate or rewire around areas of damage. And this objective is focused on exploring the extent to which wellness behaviors and rehabilitation can reverse symptoms and actually promote tissue regeneration. And then finally, the END pathway. And the goal of the END pathway really is prevention. And this is about not knowing that your children or maybe your grandchildren will ever get MS. This is about having MS be in the history books. And this pathway is about preventing MS both in the general population and preventing MS in people who are at high risk for developing the disease. We collectively have made significant progress in identifying environmental factors that increase the risk for developing MS. In addition, more than 200 common genetic variants are known to contribute to MS risk. So certainly a better understanding of risk factors, genetics, and gene-environment interactions will reveal insights that could contribute to the development of prevention strategies in the general population. One of the leading prevention strategies being pursued involves a vaccine that prevents symptomatic Epstein-Barr infection. Another might include, for example, vitamin D supplementation. And then progress is also being made on the development of strategies that reduce or maybe even eliminate the impact of MS before the onset of clinical disease in people that are at high risk for developing MS. So MS has an at-risk period, a period that precedes symptoms of the disease. And the time from exposure to environmental risk factors and the onset of disease is in many cases, many years or even decades. And this really represents a window of opportunity for treatments that could delay or even prevent the onset of MS. The ability to determine if someone is at high risk for developing MS is evolving. For example, recent studies have shown specific patterns of healthcare utilization among people who go on later to develop MS. And a recent biomarker studies suggest we may be able to detect subclinical damage to the central nervous system many years prior to the development of symptoms. Identifying the high-risk population and the development and identification of safe and effective interventions that could reduce or even eliminate the risk for MS are key milestones that will measure our progress towards the accomplishment of this objective. Again, I'm excited to share that the Pathway Secure manuscript was published just a few months ago in the widely read journal, Multiple Sclerosis Journal. And the illustration that we used in the paper to illustrate the three pathways was included on the cover. And I think you'll also be pleased to know that in addition to the Portuguese MS Society, 25 other global MS organizations, patient advocacy organizations, professional organizations have endorsed the Pathways to Cures roadmap, and this includes most, perhaps all of the major global MS research funders and policymakers. So that concludes the presentation on Pathways to Cures research roadmap. I hope you found this informative. I hope that you share my optimism that we're closer than ever to finding cures for MS, and that this plan will help accelerate our progress. I want to thank you all again for your endorsement of the roadmap, and I look forward to working with you and the other global MS organizations to advance research that answers some of the most pressing questions and drives us closer to cures for MS. Thank you.